Hi guys, happy Monday. I hope you're doing super well to start the week. And as I said earlier in the chat, this week I just kind of want to reflect back on the last 4 weeks, what we've been up to, what we haven't been up to, and just kind of going back onto that first week of April where we set our tasks, set our targets for the month, and what we had planned, what we had visioned. A lot of times things can go the way we've planned, things might not go the way we've planned, or things can surpass the visions that we have had. So it's good to kind of reflect where we're at, just get back to basis, have an understanding of our progress and take it from there. What I'd like to do is just go through a brief rundown of the topics that we've included for this month. I know we've discussed our patterns insight, so I gave you kind of an overview of how I look at patterns in charts and what gives me the kind of momentum to take a trade and what doesn't. I've also discussed with you about scalping and tick scalping. So tick scalping in regards to funded challenges, especially for new people. I think that would be important for you guys just to get a reminder once you're doing your own challenges. We discussed detachments from the outcome of trading and in our personal lives, but let's say with trading. And we also discussed accountability, which was our topic of last week. I do want to include some of the stuff that Diane's gone over. And again, it's just a reminder, just to get us kind of understanding where we're at right now and what we need to do, what steps do we need to take, and what actions do we need to put in place for the next weeks and for the next month coming. Okay, so we're not quite at the end of April. We do have next week, midweek, where May will start, but good to start getting us stimulated for that time. And yeah, let me get started on this for you. Okay, so a reflection of April 2024. So we're now a quarter into our fourth month. And yeah, let's just see where we're at. Let's get our minds ticking, our minds stimulating. And the first thing that I wanted to discuss with you is your thoughts and feelings. Okay, bear in mind your thoughts and feelings are the thing that drives your actions, your perspective, your opinions, just the way you approach things, and the way you see yourself. So your thoughts and feelings, if you were to write them down now, if you were to write 5 things at the moment that you feel or that you're thinking, look at it from a perspective. If it's on the fixed mindset of, are you limiting yourself by the way that you think? Or is it in an open mindset, an abundant mindset where you are allowing space for lessons, for improvement, and for reflection? Our brains can limit the way that we think and feel, and so therefore you'll end up with actions that do not match your frequency or do not match the frequency of what you'd like for the future. So bear this in mind, to really, really think about your thoughts and feelings. And also, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel frustrated. But what we want to do is make sure the chemistry of our bodies, of our cells, are vibrating in a higher realm of positivity rather than a negative. Because when we are vibrating from a lower frequency, we tend to attract the same frequency. So anything that is low around us in our environment, in the people that we speak to, in the kind of experiences we have throughout the days, we will simply just naturally attract things of that lower vibration as well. And it's not that you're doing anything wrong, or it's not that anyone else around you is doing anything wrong. It's just literally how energy works. Energy is so powerful, and that's why with anything that I do in life, if I'm trying to make a decision, if I'm trying to listen to my gut, my intuition, if I'm trying to action something, I'll always prioritize my vibration and energy, because I know that as long as that's strong and on like a higher level, then I don't have anything to worry about, regardless of a situation that might feel scary, frustrating. The unknown can be quite difficult for us. So always refer back to the mind. So with anything, with any thoughts that you have or anything that gets triggered throughout the day, you need to go back to your mental state. Okay, this goes for trading, because sometimes it's very easy for us to go, the market's not going in the way that we want to, and we blame the market for our actions, which is quite a distortion in the brain, to be honest. I mean, if you really think about it, the market's not actually attacking you. The market is just doing what it's doing. And we're just simply trying to sniper attack it to gain something from it. And, you know, if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work in that specific time. We've just got to deal with that. So if you have any of these thoughts running through your head, you know, why am I consistently making losses? And it puts you in a downfall mentally, emotionally. I need to make money now, that desperation feeling. I'm constantly tired. If you're somebody that complains of the way that you feel every day, you know, ask yourself, what is happening in my mind? What is causing this feeling in the way that I think first before anything? I do that for a period and then lift it up, you know, and I don't know why. Question, where is your mental state? What's your subconscious saying to you? You know, so all these thoughts, they all stem back from our subconscious and how we really think about life, how we really feel about life and about ourselves, about the people around us. Let me just go back. So yeah, and again, like I said here, the way the market is not going the way I want it to. You know, the market's not doing anything to you. The market's just doing its job. It's just doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So yeah, always refer back to the mind. Do not be scared, and trust yourself. Trust that your mental state is actually communicating with you. Your body is communicating with you. So you need to build a relationship with your inner self in order to figure out the causes of anything, any turbulence on your outside environment and how you feel about yourself. So this pattern insight, so the first, I think, let me see if I wrote this down, the first, is it the first of the month that we spoke about? Yes, it was. It was the first week of April that we spoke about pattern insights. So I gave you just kind of a download of the patterns that I look for. Bearing in mind, I'm always upgrading my education. So, you know, how I think about something one week will change the following week, because I'm obviously still working on my success rate in strategy. So if you did watch the pattern insights, I hope that's really helped you. And just a couple of questions for you just to ask yourself as part of your reflection. You know, am I identifying patterns that will help me make consistent profit? So ask yourself that question now and again, every day, every week, every month, and, you know, see what patterns are working for you and what ones you feel that make you end up in losses or in drawdowns. Just keep an eye on that. Take pictures of the patterns as well and journal them, because that way you'll be able to figure that out more quicker than ever. So am I chart watching every day to pick up patterns? So with trading, you need to watch the charts. You need to, if you have some pairs or a pair that you really enjoy trading from, you need to watch it as like your TV. It has to be something that you do on a daily basis so your eyes get used to its movement. I say this all the time. You know, trading is not just about making money. It really is a visual skill set here as well. Not just your technical analysis and gaining. You really have to get your eyes engaged to what you're looking at every day, and, you know, fixed to the screen so you understand how that particular pair works for you and, you know, how it's going to make you profitable long term. And have I implemented patterns and added them to my strategy? So the patterns that are working for you, are you looking for them every single day? Have you added them to your rules and strategies? So check in with yourself, you know, am I taking trades during patterns that actually aren't really, you know, the best of the best? And where are the patterns that you want? Sometimes your patterns might only come every so often, every few hours. So be patient and wait for whatever it is that makes you profitable. Okay. So tick scalping versus scalping, just a real quick brief on this. I know I spoke to you about this a couple of times. You don't need to worry so much. I did speak with one of the girls in the group about tick scalping, but because it came up in my personal life, I know someone who actually had their account failed through tick scalping on gold. And luckily Alpha gave them a second chance to be able to redo the challenge without having any charges, but they will fail you if you only tick scalp. So you have to make sure that majority of your trades are more than 2 minutes. Alpha especially recommends that majority of your trades are longer than those 2 minutes to prevent you failing your challenge, even if you've met the targets. And scalping, as you know, they're just referred to trades that are typically held for 2 minutes or more. Okay, so nothing more to say on that one. So detachment from the outcome, that was 2 weeks ago. We did the second week of April. I spoke to you guys about how to manage your emotions when we are in expectational thoughts. When we set targets, when we have that kind of ideology of what we want in the future, subconsciously we are in expectation. And if our expectation doesn't go the way we want, we end up back in those thoughts and feelings of, lower vibrational levels of things. So, feeling disheartened, feeling sad, feeling disappointed, doubting, worry, and everything else underneath that. So just wanted to reflect back on the detachment from your outcome. Do you have realistic expectations? Just as an example for this one, if your target is to make £200 every single day, but you know that the capital that you have is not going to warrant that kind of daily target because you have to keep your risk a little bit lower to match your capital, your overall capital. So aim for something like £60 a day, times that by 5 for the whole week, and then times that by 4 weeks. Like, it's a lot of money. If you feel like you've only made £20 for the day and your target is £35 a day, it's absolutely fine. Keep that as like a satisfactory target of the day. You're almost there. Don't push any trades just because you haven't met your target. Make sure that your expectations are realistic, and if they don't almost meet those expectations for the day or for the week, it's absolutely fine. Just make sure that it's of closer to your expectations, or at least that you make any wins and improvements and lessons as a overall benefit to you. Don't look at it as, just because you've made some losses, that it's a bad thing. It's a lesson, and that lesson is a win because it's only going to make you better as a trader. So make sure that make sure that your expectations are realistic, and that you're not setting yourself a goal of like, I'm going to make £100,000 in the next month. So are you using your ego or your energy to fulfill the process and outcome? So our egos are the ones that are going, I'm going to place bigger lot sizes, I'm going to risk this amount of money, I'm going to be the best trader within the next month. And your energy is the energy that you nurture within yourself to stay calm, to stay patient, to be observant, to be willing and hopeful of your journey, and just know that it's a process. So use good energy, find things that match humble, patient, positive energy, like reading a book, meditating, going for walks, going out in nature, talking to good people, having the right support around you, and learning and enjoying the process of learning. You having gratitude for the journey and the process is only going to make you succeed in your targets and that overall fulfillment. So use positive energy to create a better outcome. Do not use your ego, because your ego will classify this as expectations, and your expectations might not be met, which will then send you in a downward spiral. And lastly, are you ready to experience the art of surrender and living in the present moment? This is like my go-to every day, especially if I find myself in thoughts. I always think about the actual moment. Like right now, I am fully engaged in what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about anything else. I am fully engaged in providing you guys with education, and I am grateful that I have this moment in time to be able to do this for you. I'm not thinking about what I need to do after. I'm not thinking about any losses that I've made today or maybe last week. Right now, this is the moment that I'm cherishing and that I'm devoting my time on. And that is what you need to do with every action that you do every day. If you are going to be on the phone with someone and talking about how your day went, make sure that that is the priority. Do not try and distract yourself. Just give that space to that phone call and enjoy the fact that you're able to talk to someone that you care about, that you love, and discuss positive things. Present moment is so important. The present moment allows you to not think about the past, and it allows you to drive your actions from the now rather than anything that's happened to you. So if you've had a bad day if you had a bad week last week, if you're constantly thinking about that bad week, the moment that you're experiencing right now will be driven by that week that was bad. And what you want to do is not thinking about that bad week, thinking about now and how you're grateful for being here, for being alive, and drive your further actions, drive your actions of the now from that beautiful space of energy, of good energy. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. So last week we went over accountability. I'll run through this with you guys very quickly. I think last week's video actually was very important. So if you haven't had time to catch up on that, please do. I think it would be very useful in, the art of your subconscious and taking responsibility for your day-to-day actions in your personal life, in your work life, and trading. So are you holding yourself accountable for your actions within your trading? So if you have made consistent mistakes and you're not following your rules, are you taking responsibility for that, or are you finding a way out to blame the market? These little things you have to ask yourself, because over time, what you want to do is practice that art of taking responsibility and being accountable, because then it allows you to start making healthier decisions. And knowing that you are the responsible person in this situation, it allows you to take a step back and be able to observe exactly what you are doing, exactly where you might be going wrong, or where you need to do more skill sets. So we've talked about this where, our environment and our habits that we've had for years, things that have really been stored in us that we do on a day-to-day basis and don't even realize that we're doing it sometimes. We don't realize that, we might be with certain habits that might have stemmed from other people and they're not ours, but we perform them as if they're ours, as if we really believe in them. And it's important to really sit down and mind map these little things, these little habits. And they could be something simple like, I have to do the dishes after I eat. Or I have to brush my teeth at this specific time, or I need to brush my teeth after when I do this. And, the dogs must be walked at this time because otherwise this is going to happen. If you have those kind of beliefs, you need to really work out where they're coming from. What made you think that is correct and that is right? Because sometimes we read something and it's made us end up believing that just because another 10 people said the same thing. But is that really what we think? Is that really how we feel? Is that really our own opinion? And if not, why are we continuing with that habit? And a lot of the reasons why we have those kind of traps where we feel like we're constantly going over hurdles are because of those fixed mindset habits and those limiting beliefs about a specific topic or something in our lives. And really understanding also that our culture, how we've been brought up, where we live, everything all stems from that subconscious, and that we need to really understand ourselves from that point of view in order to progress. And something I was always told is that if you have loads of beliefs, you're more than likely to be someone that is not open to hearing other people's views, hearing other people's beliefs even, and understanding how people function, because you have a way of detecting and identifying life, and your way is or no way. And that kind of mentality, it will completely stop you from getting where you want to get to, because in order to get to where we want to get to, we need to have an open mindset and be able to accept and surrender to anything and everything that we experience. And that could be the people that we socialize with, it could be the type of conversations that we engage in, it could be the lessons that we learn on a day-to-day basis to help us change those habits and form new ones. So very, very important to identify, our surroundings and even people. Sometimes people say, there's no, I can't even remember the saying now. I was just about to say it. Is it something like no pain, no gain? There we go. Why is it no pain, no gain? That's actually one saying that I had to really take my mind away from. When we were in lockdown, I kept saying to myself, what is no pain, no gain? Like, we don't have to suffer in order to gain. That's never the case. It's never been the issue. But humans have always thought that way because we're always more engaged in our fear and our survival mentality, which then leads to pain. So, something like that could really, really make you limit yourself in your trading and how you think about yourself and how you value your being. It's a really important thing to look back on. And what steps will you take to change a few of these limiting factors in your life currently? This might be quite difficult. It might take some time. I really think you just need to really focus on what are the limits first. Be curious about why they happen. And just slowly just look at one, observe it, and see what you can do differently. See how you can change the way that works. If it's that you're somebody that always has to get up at 6 a.m. and you don't know why, you've just been wired that way, and you feel that you're always tired, why don't you wake up at 6:30 and see what happens? See if you're more refreshed at 6:30 in the morning. Just try things. Don't feel like you're changing who you are. You are just improving the way that you function and the way that your mind approaches life and approaches the day-to-day lifestyle that you want to lead in the future. Yeah, you really sit down and think about this, really take on board the opportunities that you have to open up your mindset and to be free and liberated, and motivate yourself, okay? Motivate yourself in becoming exactly what you want to be, and further than that and beyond. You're always gifted with higher potentials, and it's our mind that limits that. So yeah, really take some time, think about how April's gone for you, because we want to get started on a new month in a high spirit, and yeah, we'll be here looking after you guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will speak to you guys soon. Take care.